Hello students, welcome to English class. I hope you all are happy and well. Today we are going to read an interesting story that is A Model Millionaire. It is written by Oscar Wilde. Have a look on about the author. Before starting the chapter, tell me, when was the last time you heard someone say don't judge a book by its cover? Do you know what it means? It is basically a warning not to form an opinion about something based on how it looks. That's where the main character of this lesson story falters. So let's read the story to know about it.
Hughie Erskine. He was wonderfully good-looking with crisp brown hair, sharp features and grey eyes. He was popular among men and women. He was not very clever. He was kind to everybody, but he was not good at working and earning enough money. His father had bequeathed him a sword and history books, and his aunt had allowed him to live on £200 for a year. He had tried every profession, but ultimately he had to give up. To make matters worse, he was in love. The girl he loved was Laura Merton, the daughter of a retired colonel. Laura also adored him, and the two of them could easily make the handsomest couple in London, but they had no money. The colonel was very fond of Hughie, but he would not allow him to get married to his daughter. "Come to me, my boy, when you have got £10,000 of your own, and we will see about it," he used to say. On those days, Hughie looked glum and only Laura could comfort him. One morning, as he was on his way to Holland Park, where Mertons lived, Hughie dropped in to see his great friend Alan Trevor. Trevor was a painter. He was a strange, rough fellow with a freckled face and a red ragged beard. However, he was a great artist and many people bought his paintings. Trevor had always liked Hughie for his cheerful and reckless ways. When Hughie came into the studio, he found Trevor putting finishing touches to a wonderful life-sized picture of a beggar. The beggar himself was standing on a raised platform in a corner of the studio. He was a very old man, bent and wrinkled, with a pitiful face. Over his shoulder hung a coarse brown cloak, all tattered and torn. His boots were patched, and with one hand he leaned on a rough stick while the other held out an old hat for money. "What an amazing model," whispered Hughie as he shook hands with his friend. "An amazing model?" shouted Trevor at the top of his voice. "I should think so. You can't meet a beggar like him every day." "Poor old chap," said Hughie. "How miserable he looks." "Certainly," replied Trevor. "You can't expect a beggar to look happy, can you?" "How much does a model get for a sitting?" asked Hughie as he sat on the sofa. "A shilling an hour." "And how much do you get for your paintings, Alan?" "Oh, for this I get 2,000 pounds. Guineas. Painters, poets and physicians always get guineas." "Well, I think the model should have a share," added Hughie, laughing. "They work quite as hard as you do." "Nonsense, nonsense. Why, look at the trouble of laying on the paint alone and standing all day long at one's easel. It's all very well, Hughie, for you to talk, but I tell you now, it's hard work for artists. I'm very busy. Smoke a cigarette and keep quiet." After some time, a servant came in and told Trevor that the frame maker wanted to speak to him. "Don't run away, Hughie," he said as he went out. "I will be back in a moment." The old beggar took advantage of Trevor's absence to rest for a moment on a wooden bench that was behind him. He looked so forlorn and wretched that Hughie could not help pitying him. and felt in his pockets to see what money he had. All Hughie could find was a sovereign and some coppers. Poor old fellow, he thought to himself, he needed more than I do. He walked across the studio and slipped the sovereign into the beggar's hand. The old man stared, and a faint smile flickered across his withered lips. "Thank you, sir," he said. "Thank you." Then Trevor arrived, and Hughie left the studio. Blushing a little at what he had done, he spent the day with Laura, got a little scolding for his generosity, and had to walk home. That night he strolled into the Palette Club at about 11 o'clock and found Trevor sitting by himself, smoking and drinking. "Well, Alan, did you get the painting finished all right?" he asked as he lit his cigarette. "Finished and framed, my boy," answered Trevor. "By the way, the old model seems to have taken an interest in you. I had to tell him all about you. Who you are, where you live, what your income is, and what your future will be." "My dear Alan," cried Hughie, "I shall probably find him waiting for me when I go home. But of course you are only joking." "Poor old fellow, I wish I could do something for him. I think it is dreadful that anyone should be so poor. I have got heaps of clothes at home. Do you think he would care for any of them? His rags were falling to bits." "But he looks splendid in them," said Trevor. "I would not paint him in a frock coat for anything. I will tell him about your offer." Trevor then asked Hughie about Laura. He told him that the old model was quite interested in her too. "You don't mean to say you talked to him about her as well?" said Hughie. "Certainly I did. He knows all about the unreasonable Colonel, the lovely Laura, and the £10,000. "You told that old beggar all about my private affairs," cried Hughie, looking very red and angry.
So students, this is a story of Hughie Erskine. In this story, Oscar Wilde described about a boy, Hughie Erskine, who was a young man of good profile. His financial status was very low as he had no profession. He tried his hand in different professions to earn money but was not successful. So the author referred him as a delightful, kind young man with a perfect profile and no profession. He loved a girl named Laura Merton, the daughter of a retired colonel. The colonel would only allow them to get married if Hughie had £10,000 of his own. One day, Hughie visited his friend Alan Trevor, who was a painter. When Hughie came, Alan was painting a model. The model was a beggar man. Hughie felt sorry for the model, so he gave him a sovereign. Later that night, Hughie met Alan at Palette Club. They had a talk. Hughie found out from Alan that the model was actually not a beggar man. So students, you tell me, who was the beggar? We will get the answer in the next video. Till then, stay happy, stay safe. Thank you.